Hello and welcome to the preview of racing at Randwick. Rail true, bit of weather, a bit of rain sort of been about, poking around. A big hailstorm on the coast there yesterday, Mark.
Yeah,
Hello, Mark. Hello, Aaron.
Hello, Dallas. Not as much rain as could have been. And you know, there's still the prospect of some more, even though it's looking
Looks
pleasant
pretty
right
good,
now.
doesn't it? What are we saying? So it's only really going to keep it in the dead four, or
See,
dead
that's
four in
the
the
thing,
old.
you know, you have 4.2 mils. It doesn't make a track wet.
It shouldn't really.
It was. It seemed a hell of a lot more.
At Randwick it was real patchy rain. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there are places that have had more rain than that, but it's like a knee-jerk. Oh shit, you know. We've had it's rained, therefore it's wet.
Yeah. So and what's the track at the moment? I didn't even look.
So they've said soft 5.
Oh, okay.
I thought that's what it would be actually.
Yeah,
I was
so-
in agreement.
Anyway, so it's going to be a dead track on the old in the old scale and
well,
rail.
no. If you got if that was it,
Yeah.
it would be dry.
Yeah.
But, I can't.
Just a matter of whether
I
it
can't
tops up.
promise whether that's it.
All right, well, we'll work to the dead range anyway. It's about fair enough. And
Obviously.
obviously, rail true, and especially in that range, and the range that we're operating in normally means lanes on fire. So
Lanes on fire,
8
yeah.
till 12 metre lane is where you want to be. This is where it's red hot. So there'll be lovely Randwick down the outside stuff, which is normally pretty good, interesting racing, isn't it?
It's what you want.
Exactly.
It's what you want.
Exactly, perfect.
And you know, I mentioned my pearl of Monday about only backing elite jockeys from Gate 1. Well, the elite jockeys have got the task. You know, we're confronted with it straight up.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, we'll get into it straight up, and it is over 1,100 metres for the 3-year-olds, I should say. Haptic $4.20, Stablemate Mogador $2.40 in favourite, Red Zell $6, and they dominate the market. Haptic and Red Zell sorted out, mate?
Yes, I guess Sabug will poke through there to be part of the speed bracket, but Haptic's certainly the fastest horse in the race. And Redzel, I'd be interested to know what their intentions are tomorrow, because they've ridden off the speed, they've ridden with the speed, you know, zippity doodah. So, you know, there is a chance that they could try quiet again tomorrow.
He's got the pace to be there, but there's easily
look,
an intention to take a sit.
one of the faster horses in the race for sure.
Yeah.
And Takedown, resuming his second preparation, would be expected to be forward. Lieutenant ridden with success in the small field off the pace, so I imagine that Shin will try and drag him back, counter-attack off the speed, Mogador off the speed, realise potential out the back.
All right, okay, let's start with Mogador. $2.40 in favourite. It's hasn't done not a lot of substance, but there's a lot of logic behind it, Aaron, to see why the $2.40 has come up. One, it did start 2s on against Exosphere at his first start, and James McDonald has taken the choice of rides. How do you assess Mogador?
Well, he's been a horse I've been waiting to come back since his last win. I thought his win was super impressive that day at Rosehill. Yes, it was a Wednesday race, but I think it was a Wednesday.
It was a Monday race out.
Oh, sorry, it was a Monday, mate. My point being, it was a midweek race, and I do think the form of that maiden will be quite strong for a maiden per se. I thought the way he won against the Bias, he looks a highly impressive horse. It's just taken time to get to where he is. He's trialled exceptionally well.
Mark, Mogador.
Gate 1, Dal. Gate 1. I mean, you know, there's everything to like about it, bar the fact that he's drawn a tragic alley, and obviously he's got Jay McDonald to try and overcome that. And you know, I think he's top pick. I can't mark him as short as he is, because obviously I'm concerned about the draw,
he's just missing a couple of pieces, I think, to mark him that short.
Well, yeah, it's like they've decided that he's already got the pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he's done.
The J Mac booking has given those pieces. Is that what they're thinking?
I suppose so. Look, you know, we've got a very well performed stablemate here, very well performed, with better looking Randwick form than Rosehill form, but maybe even better Rosehill numbers, I'm not sure. And I think you've got two other horses in the race. So I'm maybe number one's out of his comfort zone in this race, but certainly Counterattack and Red Zell are dangerous here. They're dangerous. They've got dangerous draws. They've got style about them that you know, means that the favourite needs things to go right for him.
Will be very good. Yep. Let's just go back to Haptic, the stuff. 35 days off with what we saw with Holler and Shards in particular. What are we saying about these 35 days off? I know it's trialled since, but yeah, whoopie whoop.
Might just be trying to keep it fresh as a sprinter.
Yeah, I don't know. Do we
But
know
he's out at
anything?
Agnes Banks.
Yeah, that's right. So he's
Weren't the others? Weren't the others?
the others at Warwick Farm where the virus apparently went through. So
Yeah, but
so
Mogador's at Warwick Farm.
Mogador's at Warwick Farm, exactly. So is there a cause from concern? Thanks, Stuart, for letting us know. Yeah. I think Haptic measures up very well.
Oh, his last run was fantastic.
Yeah,
Last
exactly.
run was
He was suited by the inside, but that's also a place you don't want to be as a first up leader on a decent pace. You know, so whilst he was bias assisted, he was race shape penalised as well too for where he was in his preparation. So I'm saying neutraling it out.
He's got the rubber stamp run.
Yeah, exactly right. I think he's got the runs on the board, and I think the price between him and Mogador is too severe.
The horse I've got on top's realised potential. It has just been a horse who's crying out for a big track. It's been at Canterbury its last 2 starts.
Well, I'll give it
Highly
none.
unsuited.
I'll give it none.
You give it none?
No
What?
pace, no talent.
No pace, no talent.
Yeah.
I
didn't
couldn't
factor it in.
agree. I couldn't agree at all with that. I wouldn't be surprised to see it end up being one of the better horses. in the
Aaron,
race.
stop fucking saying that shit.
It is, I'm telling you, this
I'm
is
thinking,
Nathan
well,
Snow,
oh,
and I'll tell you,
okay.
Nathan Snow right now says it's the best horse in Sydney.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
if
okay.
this one whimpers out, you are never, ever to say that again.
I
Okay?
can say what I want.
No, because I'll edit it out. Because I'm sick of hearing every horse that shows one little bit of a potential could say cure cancer.
It showed 3 very good
Okay,
runs.
all right, okay. Well, let's just get it to win a race on a Saturday first before we start lauding it as the next greatest
I'm not saying that,
greatest
because I
thing.
look at it from a different point of view. We bet during the week, so it's a bit different. So I'm not just looking at group horse, I'm looking at horses that we made it.
It's looked very stylish, Aaron, and I can see where you're coming from. There's a dog. But yeah, I'm taking the opposing position.
You don't like the flashing run?
Well,
and you think it's gonna start on the road.
I've shown. I can't find any evidence for the fact that it's got any pace.
Okay.
So it's like, for me, this is a horse that's getting over the top of
lesser horses.
Yeah. But I mean, he does have the style that goes up in grade. So So one of us will be right and one of us will be wrong. Excuse me, Dale.
Yeah, no worries. And my point there wasn't about potting the horse. I'm just potting every time you have a horse with potential, you want to label it the greatest thing of all time because I'm sick of hearing it. That's all.
His name's realised potential.
Yeah, great, fantastic. Well, maybe one of them might one day. All right. Well,
A lot of them have. I've found wings.
Yeah, good. You've mentioned about every single horse that you mentioned that steps up from midweeks to Saturdays. Anyway, that's it. So, Mark, what do you want to play in the first?
At the prices, I would back Haptic and Counterattack.
Yeah, lovely. And what are we saying about Redzell? Is it today? Tomorrow it has to step up, doesn't it?
It looks like D-Day for it.
It is D-Day, isn't it? For a horse that's been spruiked and horses sort of hasn't really had the. I suppose you can make excuses for what it's done the last couple. It does need to step up tomorrow, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it can. It's it's sitting right in there, which it makes me think that Mogador is likeable in so many respects, but horribly priced.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
It seems to be the one that you thought might have gone up $4 and seems a decent bet.
Well, I'd be happy for it to start 2 to 1, but not 6 to 4. I think.
But I kind of feel like this is the same thing. Like I said last week, I think Winx was a moral, but I thought it would be priced $6 coming off an Oaks campaign. It wasn't. It was found in the market. The market's obviously a lot smarter than it used to be. It could be that place.
Yeah. I know. You're spot on there, Aaron.
All right. Okay. Moving to race 2. It is over 1,600. What is it? It's over 1,400 metres here. So I've left the bloody form guide away. So a little bit unorganised. We see. Race 2 is Messina $26. Rudy is into $1.90 with the tab. Sadler's Lake $6.50. Destiny's Kiss $8.50.
So it rained. And
Sorry. That's bloody. That's tote.
So.
Can I have fixed odds every time I press this, please? $6.50 Messina, $3.20 Rudy, $3 Sadler's Lake, and Rekindle Power $7.50.
Okay, and we're going to lose Forget because he's going around at Newcastle.
Okay.
But Sadler's Lake reserved for this. Taken out at Newcastle.
Messina gets an easy lead with Dragonfly mode.
Well, Dragonfly's back from a mile. I wouldn't think it'd get near Messina. I mean, this is, he did very little last week, Messina, but this is his.
Kim figures into it all right, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you go, wow, you've got every chance to shine here. You've had 3 runs back from a long spell. You're on a 7-day backup. You've got the inside draw to the outside draw. You went back to 13. You're back up to 14 here. You do have Tommy Berry.
That's right, Tommy Berry in front.
But I mean, this he strikes the. He's sort of gone Group 2, Group 2, Group 2. Very minor Group 3.
Yeah.
It's like the Bill Ritchie is the
Yeah.
is the bottom of the barrel when it comes to this black type racing.
So you're saying Sadler's Lake will roll forward from the low draw?
Well,
Red gloves?
yeah.
Red gloves,
See,
the red gloves
is-
could do something.
This is Sadler's Lake went to the Derby, went to the Queensland Derby, and it was only 2200, I know, but so he resumed at 14. He's second up at 14. He drew gate 1 the other day, which was good. He's drawn gate 1 today, which is bad. He's a vexed, like he's returned very well, and it's all nice, except for the fact that he's potentially poisoned by the draw. And this is not Jay McDonald from gate 1. This is Red Gloves who goes, there's no such thing as track bias.
No, exactly. And
I'm going to be hard up against the inside.
and we just have never liked Jimmy in the inside, even when Jimmy was on fire.
So, see, even Rudy is a big chance to find the fence here.
He is, but he's also got a couple inside him that might keep him off as well too. But then Keren's on the fence, and he'll just stay on the fence as well.
Well, okay,
too.
so the Sadler's Lake was Hart Tester.
Yeah.
They're straight away in front of Rudy.
You reckon?
So-
Oh, I thought there was a chance that he might have one of those on his inside. But there's also more of a chance that he probably ends up on the fence as well too.
And Rudy's a horse that, like, you look at those Ramwick runs, they're all good, aren't they? The Villiers, Doncaster.
Yep.
Form-wise, he's not a horse that I ever find.
No.
I found. But I went through this race and I've just gone, wow, look at your run. Wow, look at your run. For a race like this, his runs are just enormous.
It's just so
for a
Captain
race.
Obvious, isn't it? As long as he doesn't get fucked on the fence by Keren, it's just so obvious.
He looks very, very hard to beat.
He should be in an okay enough spot. Yeah.
But one thing that I could be wrong in this, it's an opinion of mine. He's probably the best wet tracker in the race, so being on the inside is a slightly less disadvantage thing to him than it is to the other horses.
It's an interesting point, Aaron. I hadn't thought of that one.
As long as he does drift out, like as long as he gets there,
not
but if he has to
hard
cut
fence.
the corner,
Yeah.
I don't mind them doing that if they are the best wet trackers in the race.
Anyway, so Rudy.
So look, we've got an interesting conundrum with this race. We've got Messine given the chance to show
Oh,
his
exactly
best,
right. That's right. Exactly.
but not racing his best.
No, definitely not. Racing awful.
And we've got Rudy, who's beautifully primed, although perhaps 1500 at this stage might be more in order. But Rudy beautifully primed, and Sadler's Lake, a lightly raced horse that's returned well. It's both of those horses potentially compromised by the inside. So delicious race.
I also thought Rudy was a little bit closer here.
Yeah,
'Cause he
yeah.
did sit fourth in a Doncaster where I think they got a little bit faster than they did.
Yeah.
So,
But if you went 6 lengths slower than he did in the
like, he could
Doncaster, he'd
easily
lead
be
this race
sitting
by
there
5.
box seat, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Whether he is, he's
Karen's
not.
been riding okay. A horse I didn't consider Dal, but I noticed has got interest in other places is Puzzling Wonder. What do you say, Aaron?
Lightly raced horse that's progressing through the grades. So he's always been a horse that looked like he had like that little bit of ability. He's a real big cracking type. Whether he ever gets there and puts it all together, I'm not sure. I think it's a huge step up in grade.
Classic
Yeah,
Anthony
obviously.
Cummings, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
he's,
there you go. There you go.
it's a
Yeah,
group
there you
race.
go.
Where,
One thing with Anthony, he does seem a lot of his horses are racing quite well at the moment, especially the lower grades. But yeah, I think his horses are going well at the moment. So could be an interesting one. What are we making about Rekindled Power?
I don't like 1400 metres first up for Massaro. But he's a bit dangerous. He went very well first up last time. But I think he's a horse that probably needs pace as well too. His position in run looks against Christian Reith. Wide draw. He just looks.
I would be opposing.
He
that.
looks resigned to just being back last, doesn't he? From
this horse should be resuming at 1100 or 1200.
yeah, that's what I would have
maximum.
thought. And I maintain that I don't want to see anything out of the box from Paul Massaro or John O'Shea's or those type of people. Just give it to me straight up.
Yeah.
I thought the exact same thing until I went back and watched his run when he was first up behind
Delectation.
Yeah, it
Delectation.
was enormous.
And if that run that day was say over 1300, I think he wins the race. And because he was a horse, he kind of in his run, he kind of looked like he hit that flat spot when they sprinted. They caught him I've got a feeling that the 14, I know usually they're set up and I can agree with what you're saying, I just have a feeling 1400 first up, this horse might just work.
Well, with the soft pace, he's not going to get it as exposed.
And he's just going to be able to go in. He has got a good turn of foot, but I kind of still think he builds into it. So I give him a good chance here.
All right, okay.
I'm against Messina. I know the race shape's there. I just can't come in.
Oh, I think he's. Look,
If he wins,
I
he
think.
wins.
I think watching him parade, Aaron, like knowing how big he was and how he raced first up, I think he's progressively getting worse as the campaign's getting on.
Yeah,
Is it like because he should be the level of fitness he's getting, he should be improving by lengths every time. And if anything, he's just staying in the one spot, and he should. So in other words, I think he's going backwards. So yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't send him for a spell after his 2 first good runs.
have to send half the stable out though. Okay, does that cover all of them? What since Sadler's late, we say likely race improver, and obviously.
Yeah. I'll be just interested to see that with that Waller thing of when they do run so well first up, they can race flat second up.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see if that trend continues.
Yeah, I don't think Sadler's Lake's ever. I think he's a real dry tracker, as we know, and so I don't think he's ever had a chance to show what his best is.
Yeah, his best is ahead of him.
I think so. Yeah,
I think he is one that I said a long time ago. I thought he was highly talented.
I can agree with you there. All right, you can say that. All right, okay. What are we doing? Anyone playing? I think it comes down to price with Rudy, doesn't it? I don't think any of us would be too keen to take a real short price Rudy.
No, but I mean he's
logical,
he's on top.
Logical on top tip. Yeah. What's your name, Aaron?
I'm probably leaning towards him I'll probably just chop him out, to be honest. Have him just chop me out, and I'll be having small bets on Heart Tester and Rekindled Power, and I'll have a look at Sadler's Lake, see where I go there.
All right, lovely. Race 3 is Oxford Poet $7, Sarajevo $4.60, $8 Wild and Famous, $7.50 Dupum, $8.50 Cassiano Lad, and $7.50 Thinking of You. The lowest race of the day, in my opinion, but you might have a different opinion. Mark, Wild and Famous and Oxford Poet sorted out, do they, or are you thinking something else?
Yeah, Oxford Poet drives along the inside. I mean, funnily enough, it's not. There's how many are we left with at the moment? There's only 2 scratchings at the moment, so 15. For 15 runners, there's not a lot happening.
No, that's very slow. We've got it going 4 lengths below.
So obviously Wild and Famous hops out on the speed and seemed at an attractive price. Cassiano Lad will be forced into an on-pace position by dint of his draw. And I had Cumbran sitting next best. There's a lot of backmarkers here. What do I want to say? Well, J Mac has got the devil draw again on Sarajevo. I mentioned Wild and Famous, who looks an obvious one, and Dupum has gone back to the midweeks and has decided he wants to find the line.
Yeah, he's a winner now.
Jesus
Like
Christ.
he actually stretched
more improved horse.
He actually stretched his neck out the other day.
Yeah. Go Dupum.
And he's not here. He's not here from gate 1 with Glyn.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's where do we start, Dallin?
Thinking of You.
Why are we thinking of You?
Well, it's hard in the market. It was the first horse that came to mind. Peter Moody's had a big week.
Right.
Go Moods.
Yeah.
I'm standing behind Moods.
Whether you agree with what he said or not, thank God somebody's actually said something for once.
So what did he say?
Oh, he basically said that the steward. Anyway, we'll cover it on Monday.
Right.
But yeah, no, let's get this.
Okay, so Thinking of You, has it got some credentials?
Well, it's spruiked. It's a nice horse. Its best is going to be on the dry. It's had a couple of trials. What did you say about its trials, Aaron?
Did you say nice horse?
It's a nice type of horse.
Nice.
It's a very nice.
What did you say about its trials, Aaron?
It was one that caught the eye from the trials. It's come back good. It was one that showed a little bit of, like you said, they sound like, it's a nice little...
it's a really nice type of horse.
Yeah, she always looked a nice type of horse.
But her best is definitely dry, and but it is the third preparation.
She raced well against the group 3-year-old fillies, so she was competitive there. She always looked like she was going to be a horse that had a lot of scope for improvement, I thought. And the trials have been good.
Put it this way, she's in the race because the race doesn't have to be any great highs. So we spoke about her, Sarajevo. I think is in Melbourne, but I'm pretty sure it's running in Sydney.
Yeah.
Sarajevo is an overrated horse in my opinion. Obviously, he's better. I think he is better at the shorter course. You remember how he was going to win the Golden Rose?
That's right. He was too. Yeah, that's right. Because he got that unlucky run. I think you might have labelled him a champion after that day, Aaron.
I think I labelled him a nice horse.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
So
no champion.
what do you want to do?
nice
What do you want to do with him?
I
tomorrow?
still think he is a nice horse, but I think he's a short course horse. He's one of those run-on sprinters
Yeah.
that was wrongly placed.
Mm.
Well, they all go that.
Well,
that
actually,
path
you know
until-
what, his data probably suggests that because we've got him running as well first up as he does deep into the preparation,
Yeah.
and that's probably as much to do as distance as it is as fitness.
Placement
Yeah,
as well.
so you're holding that number, so that's all he sort of tends to do is hold the number.
Yeah, look, I think his trials were good. They're just two quiet trials. I think if he's at his best and the track's dry, he's going to be very hard to beat here.
All right,
It's a lowly bunch.
Yeah, it is a low- it's a low bunch.
He's going to be hard to beat here.
All right, who wants
You're
to throw?
against him?
What are you? You're against him. Who have you, my favourite? Mark, let's go to that. Chestnut Road, is it? No, it's
No,
41.
Wild and Famous and
Oh,
Jip, I've got equal favourite.
Yeah.
What's going on here? I keep.
You keep losing your dog.
Excuse me. Famous.
Right, okay, so Jipham and Wild and Famous. Mark, Wild and Famous, obviously let's start with that. On pace favours, obviously.
Yeah, it's like it's returned. It's returned well enough. He really couldn't do much more against ins and outs, and it's got a configuration like a track configuration that suits. So I saw no problem with it.
Wild and Famous, Aaron.
Never thought of it as a horse.
But I don't know if you have to. I don't think being a horse in this race is a qualification.
Well,
I think
it
there's a
could
couple
be a
of
sort of a
things that aren't
machine situation.
horrendous.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, look, it gets favours, but it's not a horse I can find in the market.
And Jipham, I think what we see is what we get, Mark. It's proven itself to be a dog on Saturdays, but it's gone back and won a couple of
Does
races.
seem to have a new lease on life. It could be because it was back in grade at the same time. A lot of those Saturday races weren't that far off the Wednesday races either.
No, that's right. And this is a Wednesday race, pretty much too. Mark, your thoughts, Jipham?
yeah, I like it. And the other horse I want to mention is All Cerise, who.
I'm keen on you. I did on top.
So, well,
Yeah, I think
you talk about All Cerise then.
If you're a trial watcher, it's a horse that really looks to have come back good. She showed hints of it last prep that she was coming good, and I think she's really come good this prep. The only thing with her is I don't want any more rain because I do think her best is on dry tracks. She's going to get Randwick Rail True, which is her racing style, is where she needs. I like her.
The thing I noticed, and you may not have picked this up, Dale, is that he put blinkers on her at the end of two preparations ago.
Yeah.
So she was. You remember she was in the finish in that spring of 2013. 2014. Spring of last year. He put the blinkers on and she suddenly led in a race.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
right.
she went
Yeah,
for a
she went
spell.
mad,
He
that's
left
right.
the blinkers on her all preparation,
Yeah.
and he's finally taken the blinkers
Yeah,
off.
okay.
So
Yeah.
And you watch that first race, she just trucks.
Yeah,
absolutely trucks.
I think she's.
Oh, wow.
I think she's. Yeah. She
And I think
showed
she'll be
that she
better
wasn't really
without it.
great with the blinkers. Yeah.
No.
Yep. Fair enough. Okay, so also this is a tip from you. Anything else you want to mention?
Little roughy down the bottom, mine too. I could see it.
3-year-old
running a
filly
cheeky
taking on the
race.
older horses.
Yeah, it's 3-year-old filly taking. I thought I had her sitting in a nice spot, no weight, sits there,
Go
run
clear.
a cheeky race.
fair enough.
You think you're.
I'm looking at lightly race with a lot of horses that have proven themselves to be nothing. It's probably about to prove itself to be nothing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
But I'm willing to take a gamble.
I'll go
at
the
price.
lightly race, whatever. Then you got the big cross with Claire Gutman. Anyway, beautiful. All right, race 4. Terra Vista, $2.40. $7 Bull of Muscle, $9.50 Rebel Dane, $4.40 Shiraz is the second pick. Mark,
Fascinating race, isn't it?
good race, yeah. Yep.
Well, Ball of Muscle's in the van, and that's a good idea. Is handy. Shiraz is handy. Hot Snissel's handy, and then Terra Vista, which is an ideal spot for him. Delectation, Rebel Dane out the back, Oakham's Fergal out the back, Rock Sturdy certainly out the back.
All right, okay. Terra Vista, we start with him. I think that a lot of his problems last time, as you didn't live up to great heights, was coming down to the ridiculous thought that you thought you could tackle the Newmarket first up. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know. But it seemed Joe Pride, who normally gets a lot of these things wrong, got this horribly wrong, and I think it stuffed up his preparation.
Yeah.
I want to know what your thoughts on the trials is, Aaron, because to me it looks like it was sort of saying that he might be coming to play now, or
Yeah.
it's enough to erase the cloud of doubt from the last preparation.
The first trial I was still a little bit iffy on because it wasn't him. Like he was one horse that used to trial like a bit of a
Yeah.
machine. Second trial showed that a lot more.
Yeah.
And one thing as well, I noticed, I saw Joe's post, he looks well in his coat.
Yeah,
And
okay. Yeah, because he's only a wishy-washy thing. He often doesn't look good in his coat.
He looks to be well in his
Yeah.
coat again. And things look to be going in the right direction.
Oh, we'll put it. If he's right, he just wins. Game over.
He was rated the best sprinter in Australia.
Whatever that crap is, who cares? But yeah, he just
there.
wins.
If he's back there,
he just wins.
I
He's
think
got 3 lengths on the 30 fingers. If he's with us, which
which is the conundrum for tomorrow,
which
isn't
is
it?
the conundrum for tomorrow. But I think there's enough up his sleeve. And
the
with
only
the
thing I
trial,
would have said is maybe 1200 would be.
he's still got plus 10s to the 1100 of the course and distance. A little bit of sting out purple.
Yeah, well, Corey rode him in this race last year.
Oh,
remember?
Brownie, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Of course he did. Of course he did.
Yeah, so he's
So if
what
he's
he's lacking in momentum this time.
he's got Hubert.
He's got you and a better gate as
So
well.
in other words, if he went plus 10 last time with Corey, you can say it's about a plus 15. Anyway, all right. So Terra Vista, are you a tick for Terra Vista, Mark?
I am a tick for Terra Vista.
All right, perfect. All right, I'm I just think clearly on top. Have to see something bad in the I mean he's still subject to parade, obviously, but for mine, he's the only horse I'm interested in.
Okay. Are you interested in anything else?
Well, I mean, obviously the fit alternative is Shiraz.
Of course. And he's got a great mark on the scoreboard for Terra Vista to chase. He's there. You know what he's going to do. Here's the level you've got to get to, and I'm saying Terra Vista will get to that level.
Yeah.
Shiraz, boys. I mean, what can you say about Shiraz? It's been almost run the same numbers every start. It's right at its peak.
Yeah, well, it did well to do that coming back to 1,000.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
better suited to the 1100 for sure, all that. But he's a good sprinter, whereas Terra Vista's a exceptionally good sprinter.
Dale, if they were both at the same stage of their preparation, we wouldn't be talking.
That's right, exactly. Anything? Okay.
I'm saying Delectation is the one
always
that I'm
dangerous.
interested.
Always dangerous. What are you saying about Delectation?
I think his best run is his fresh run, and I think 1100 with pace on, he's going to see they're always going to go quick at the 1100. He's going to get that beautiful run. A little bit more rain would just be ideal, in my opinion. I think he's better with a little bit more cut out of the track.
Yeah.
Dead 5 will be fine, but yeah, I think he's one that could just be flying home.
Yeah.
Just right on the bunny.
Yeah. Yeah, I always feel dangerous about Delectation. But in saying that, I think head-to-head, first ups, all that, and I'd imagine that Terra Vista is going to be in a better position as well too.
Well, he went down to the Newmarket as well.
Yeah, that's right.
He was third up into the Newmarket.
Yeah, which is probably a better way of playing it.
So I don't see Delectation as being on the level.
No, I don't. But that's
the only thing with him is I think he's a fresh 1100 metre horse because he does so many things wrong. He gets head up, does all these little things. I've always got that theory of those horses, their best runs are when they run off their feet, they don't think and they just chase.
That's why we always say the 1100 metres is the cat's distance because they sort of it all happens.
They get time to think. It happens.
It happens quick enough, but not quick enough that it's the distance for them. Anyway, okay, so it's Terra Vista for mine, and I think that price is more than acceptable with the mounting yard tick. Mark?
Yeah, fine.
Mark, Aaron, fine.
Terra Vista from Delectation.
All right, race 5 is for the fillies. Interesting lineup here. It's never a super duper race, is it? But this is not exactly the greatest renewal.
Well, it's got some interesting questions, and of course, the lead up in this race did supply. It was honestly run. The race that Speak Fondly won a fortnight ago.
All right. Anyway, well, Ottoman's $5. As is Kimberly Star, as is Flamboyant Lass. Sempre Libera is $6, so you can almost say 4 or 5 to 1 the field.
And it looks Flamboyant Lass's race to take it up. Lake Geneva on her outside has blinkers on. Now I know we've lost Lake Geneva, but she can still participate in terms of race configuration. So it'll be interesting to see what intention there is there. Other than that, there's just a series of just off the pace horses: Pearls, Ottoman, Ocean Tempest, In Her Time, Perignon. Kimberly Star obviously off the speed. Sempre Libera, another awkward draw for an off pacer.
Yep.
And the Kiwi Sophia Rosa, who bloused them from her wide gate in New Zealand last time, she looks to go back.
Loving it. We can find. Oh, people might not have heard that, but we can find the noise. As somebody said, we could do the show underground in a bunker, and we'd still have a marching band come past us.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Anyway, okay. So you were just mentioning Sempre Libera there. Let's talk about it. It was out of a collection of awful rides from Joey Moreira.
Yeah.
It was probably the worst of them at Randwick over his illustrious carnival. First up, 1400 metres, Gay Waterhouse, Siempre Liebre, or whatever it's called. What do you say?
I'm opposing it tomorrow, but I'm scared.
Opposing it on configuration draw or what?
Yeah, and the trials haven't grabbed me. I thought that her second race start was Dynamite.
Yes.
And that was a platform for her to do whatever she did when Joey, lost his compass. Thence to Brisbane, which was not a good play, fourth start, first prep. But she just looks like a dour thing to me.
Yeah.
That,
well, that's where I've sort of been able to come around to her okay first up at 1400 metres, because she definitely needs 1400 metres plus is where her best is going to be.
Blinkers first time, so
Yeah.
going to be a big play to that.
Yeah, but it's also Blinkers inside draw, which could see it can wind back to missing the
Joshy running last on the inside.
Yeah, it's comforting, isn't it?
I couldn't see her being last though.
But if she misses the start with Blinkers on first time, it's
Yeah.
often
Yeah, so they go, they're in the gates early, they're sitting there, they can't see what's going on.
Well, it's
Bang,
sort of
they
again.
jumped.
Yeah, whoops, I'm back last.
Gay has thrown caution to the wind here, hasn't she? I mean, Flamboyant Lass was Dynamite first up, but at 1,000. Trials at 10.50 cents, and then straight to 1,400. Has she been?
Aaron, you got anything to add?
I like the horse. She was one that always looked like she was going to be far better this prep.
Yeah.
She always looked like she had scope for so much more and could have met a lot of them. She wasn't an early GI. No,
She still ran okay enough numbers for what the age group was doing at the time too. So
I wasn't bagging her.
no, but I'm just saying she's still done okay.
Yeah, she did
okay,
well.
with a lot of growing up to do.
With a lot of growing up to do. Yeah, she was the one that I thought was in the race with probably the most upside. Looking at her.
And the 1,000 metres to 1,400s, obviously, it's a bit radical, but it is Gay.
Yeah. With the trial in the meantime.
Yeah.
It's just that the track will not be sympathetic.
Yeah.
You'd sort of be looking for a sympathetic track at this, to be trying at.
Fair point. Okay, so
yeah, I mentioned the lead up of the Furious Stakes, which was seemed to be one of the faster renewals of it.
renewals, yeah.
Which probably gave Ottoman quite a good platform for this race.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't see that originally, but I've started thinking that way, because I've had no time for Ottoman.
No, nor why should you?
But I mean, she had a 1200. She resumed at 1200.
Yeah.
She's J Max. She's second up on the same track.
Yep.
She wasn't in the ideal lane first up,
no.
whereas Perignon was.
Yeah.
So.
No, fair point. It's the
easy
lead up, isn't it?
Easy to spin a case.
And look, it's not. I mean, this is a type of race that going to the default option probably isn't a bad one, because it's not a high standard race, is it?
No. We move on then to Kimberly Starr, who seems to have been up forever.
It does, yeah, exactly. What can we add about Kimberly Starr?
Well, it's got Bishin and
Bishin, it's Gay, it's
Blinkers.
Blinkers, Grange.
Lawnmower.
Yeah. Oh, look, I can't come to Kim. I mean, look, if even Kimberly Starr's best probably only just wins this race on best numbers, and can she do her best? Blinkers may be the miracle cure. We have seen Gay improve them a long way with Blinkers, but look, I'm happy to let Kimberly Starr beat me.
Yeah, I'm against it here.
What are we saying about Honest stuff from Queensland?
Had 3 runs at a mile.
Yeah, back, but going on what you're saying, if a bit of starch is what you want. It's got. I mean, I know it's had the 30 days off, but still had that. Yeah.
She is 50 to 1, isn't she?
Yeah.
And I struggled to mark her as long as 40 to 1. I just kept kicking her out. Go, off you go.
Yeah. Keep going. Yeah. Perfect.
Aaron,
right. Anything to add there?
Nothing to add on here.
Well,
No, but anything to add? Full stop.
Yeah, full side. I didn't mind maybe a couple of the roughies in her time. Ocean Temperance, just for being lightly raced. In her time's win last start was good. Yes, it was at Canterbury, but it was wide throughout. On a day where it was better to be on the inside.
You need to go back and watch the tapes of that day.
so? Okay.
Maris is set 3 deep throughout. Dupum set 3 deep throughout. In Her Time set 3 deep throughout.
Okay, well, maybe it could be more on the day then. I just thought, I was impressed with the trial leading into it, and I thought she raced well. Ocean Temperance is very green and improving. And the one that seemed to, I thought, possibly be big odds was Look to the Stars. It's had a couple of good runs around this trip. Like, it only got beaten 2 lengths to Press Statement.
Yep.
In
Oh, look, the point being, our general point in this race is the bar isn't that high. So if
that's
the
why
bar
we
isn't
might
that
have
high,
flea bets on
yeah,
roughies in
no,
this
that's
race.
fair. I can't back that.
I'll challenge the handicappers to see if their benchmarks resemble the betting market. That's
Yeah,
what I would be interested in, because I mean, obviously, in a set weights race, the benchmarks should resemble the betting market, and they won't be.
They won't be doing that. Okay.
I agree with you on Ocean Tempest, who's she's got a lot of scope. Glenn was terrible on her at Warwick Farm. And the other one I want to mention is stablemate of Ottoman Pearls, who drew the slow lane. Drew the slow lane at Canterbury.
Okay. Beautiful. All right, that's that race. Look, if Sempre Libera parades well, I could definitely entertain having something on her, but I know you're dancing around hand grenade, dancing around landmines with the draw and all that sort of business.
There's a race I found it really hard to get in. Just have small bets on horses. I think it overs late in the day.
All right, George Main Stakes, the main event of the day.
Here we go.
Is over the mile. Pornichet 650, 240 in favourite. Kermadec for Glenn Schofield, 440 Royal Decent, 650 Lucia Valentina. They're the double ones under double figures. And
it's a classic scenario. It's exactly the way our racing has gone. It's homogenous. You know, we've got it. You know, they've either come from the Chelmsford or the Tramway. It's like there's no 3-year-olds. It's just
nothing from Melbourne. No.
It's you know, what can you say?
No, exactly. Yeah, because the George Main, the George Main was, you'd traditionally have a 3-year-old there, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know, Coronation Day.
Viscount.
Yes.
They'd
add something to it. It'd be the first real test.
So Dissident ran in this race. It's so we've got a situation here where every horse started 2 weeks ago.
Yep. And every horse is coming off a slow pace race, and probably looks like being a slow pace race again.
Sorry.
Yeah.
As far as the pace is concerned, Hooked is our designated leader, and there are 4 horses to sort themselves out chasing: Pornichet, Royal Descent, Kermadec, Swainess.
Yep. All right. Okay. Lovely. Well, let's start with Kermadec. He's the 6-4 favourite, building nicely. All the planets look in line. Aaron, do you want to kick it off? Because I think you're very keen on it.
Yeah, I think he'll win.
Yeah.
I think he's been building his first hurrah, even though he looked quite well. I think he looked. So I went and looked at him last time once he came back in. He was still very internally fat. He was having a big blow. I think he's really going to improve from this run, and I think this is like really the start of his campaign now.
I think
if he drew a gate last start, he probably wins.
Yeah. I think there was a chance he raced a bit flat last start too.
Yeah, that's possible as well.
So that's how we've worked out Royal Descent as well too. Just looking at a few things. The hard things to run, but I think him and Royal Descent have got race flat.
Yeah.
And that's big for give.
Look, and well, what did you say about Pornichet's run then?
Tactically bad, and so he's still.
Because the interesting thing about these 3 horses is that they commenced their runs against each other in the Doncaster. They all ran the same price.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Ditto first up.
Yeah.
Ditto second up. It's like, you know, there's visually, Kermadec was impressive the other day, but
they're together, aren't they?
You know, I think that the play in this race is to actually maximise the disparity in prices. You know, like obviously Kermadec is going to be well found because he was the visually impressive one last time.
Yeah.
But you know, the other 2 started shorter than him and were flat or whatever second up. So there's something. I think there is something to work with.
I believe so.
So you're saying like you're a little bit against him?
No,
I'm
not against
him, but
I'm saying that he's likely to start a shade under the odds, and the others are likely to start a shade over the odds.
I thought just looking at this race, he's the one that's perfectly set up for this race. I think the only way that I can see Pornichet beating him is if Blake takes the initiative to let him roll out in front and go. I reckon he needs to go.
I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that happen because it's just so captain obvious that they're just going to be yeah and go.
I don't think Pornichet can win this race sitting sprint.
I think Pornichet has to make it a tough Gay Waterhouse challenge, doesn't it?
Yeah, because and I think he's a lot better once he hits 2,000. So if he gets going and makes it more like 2,000, that's where his chance will be. And I think then Kermit will chase him. Will come down to who's the better of the two.
With Raw Descent getting ahead in front and winning.
I can't see her beating him now. I can't. That's just my opinion.
I think she turns it around tomorrow. But anyway, okay. So Mark Kermit, I think it's been there for all the season, and I agree with exactly what you're saying. They're tied to each other. I think Kermit and Raw Descent are just that little bit, that half a rung above Pornichet. I've got nothing between Raw Descent and Kermit, so at the price I'm Raw Descent.
Okay.
From Kermit.
Yeah, I'm against her now.
You've got in your head that everybody's been telling you that this horse was revved up first up. Now, I'll never look at another horse in the yard again first up if that horse was revved up first up. Then she might be being aimed at the Caulfield Cup, but I think she raced well first up. She went flat second up. I think she deserves the benefit of the doubt. Her numbers can be track as well as Kermit X do. And I think if you get yourself caught up in thinking that she was revved up first up, you shouldn't look at horses because she wasn't revved up first up. She was nowhere near it. She ran the same numbers as she normally does first up.
Well, she was better set in that race, and which is the reason you found her first up was the fact that she was better set up in that race than Kermadec was.
I agree with that. I think there's a split hair between that, and we saw, if Kermadec you draw a line with He's Your Man, there was a split hair between He's Your Man and Raw Descent when she was at the top as well too. Yep. And Kermadec and her are tracking the same way. They've come back similarly. They're all tracking together. I think they'll dead heat the race. There you go. If there's a short half in between them, we did actually call it in the was the episode? Yeah, we did say that these horses will fight it out and there'll be nothing between them. There was one of the tightest photos you'll see.
That's a glory day.
That was a glory day, almost picking a dead heat, and I think that'll be almost the same again tomorrow, with Pornichet running probably third. But with due respect to Hooked, but I just think Hook's that run behind. He won the other day. It was good for us, but I think he got away with.
I think he's that class level. I think he's
I don't know about that.
under them. I don't think he's the same as them.
I don't know about that. But
you've always had a good opinion of him. I think he's less than them.
But
they're top class, and he's just below top class.
But if he gets the conditions on his day then he can smash it out of the park. But his best is rock hard. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Anyone?
Well, is there anything else to talk about? I mean,
well, I suppose the big thing is Glenn on Kermit.
If there's one horse that could run the cheeky race out of that pack, is Kiramosa for mine. She's one that's just
she's
ticking.
She ran very well.
She's improved, and I think if you like her, then you almost have to think Rudy's a moral looking at their runs. But look, she's one. I think she's come back good. She's tracking nicely, and I think she had a lot of improvement.
She's the one that could upset the party. She's complacent. Glenn on Kermit.
Glenn. That's right.
I think he's riding back.
He's riding a lot better than he was.
He has in a long time.
Yeah, that's a fair call.
Yeah, but you're still being asked to take.
Put it this way: if the ring is $2.40 and a certain someone is $2.75, who would that someone be, Mark? If somebody is that,
I don't know, but I'll be looking out for it.
Yes, keep an eye out for the old Glenn Pollitt baked dinner on Sunday nights theory. It's an interesting booking, isn't it? And that's sort of probably got me why I'm Raw Descent. It's Hugh versus Glenn. But you know what? I can envisage Glenn riding this horse centimetre perfect.
Like you say, Glenn, who else could they have brought?
I really don't care, but it's Glenn.
He's running well.
Yeah.
It's like when Karen's on a horse.
It doesn't matter who they could have or what they did.
Glenn's got a lot more ability than Karen, in my opinion.
He's got more ability. I think Karen is inclined to be more focused.
Mate, I didn't disagree with Glenn I probably did when he was the best rider in the world, but I thought when Glenn
was the best rider in the world 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. But when
J-Mac the week after?
When Glenn was riding at his best, I thought he was the best in Australia. So, I don't have to do it, but
All right.
Anyway, all right,
Royal Descent.
I want to play Royal Descent, and I'd probably want to save Kermadec, and it's a tight play for me, but that's the way that I'm seeing it. And with due respect to those other horses we mentioned, Mark.
I marked them 9 to 4, 13 to 4 a pair.
Yep. So you want to play the The other two.
Yeah.
Yep. And Aaron, you want to?
You know,
I'm-
but with my heart in my mouth,
absolutely,
because
yeah.
obviously Kermadec is, is the top pick.
He's your top pick, but just not quite market.
Oh, I'm Kermadec from Pornichet, and mainly because I think they're the ones that have the scope to still have a lot more, have more improvement. Where I think she's like reached that level, ability-wise.
Pretty good level.
That's a very good level.
Yeah.
I think they've reached it and could go past it.
All right, race 7 is 2,000 metres and an interesting little race here, which sees who?
Complacent favourite.
Complacent favourite, not on the tote. It's $10 on the tote. $3.40 in favourite Complacent. $7.50 Who Shot the Barman. Other double figures would be Magic Hurricane down the bottom at $5.40, and quite a few of them around the 12 to 1
This
mark.
really has just become a metropolitan lead-up, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
here's your metropolitan lead-up race.
Yep.
It's because I mean the Hill Stakes used to be, well, it waxed and waned between 1,750 and 1,900
Yeah.
at Rose Hill. It'd have half a dozen runners.
Superimposed it going in as the lead up to the Doncaster.
Epsom,
the
yeah. Now it's just, Chrissy's got half the field, and everything's heading towards the metropolitan.
Do your best. Bohemian Lily, Bonfire, and Complacent, the leaders, Mark.
Yeah, it's I'd beaten up there on pace as well.
Yep.
So yes, Bohemian Lily through along the inside. Stablemate Bonfire not far away. Complacent won't have the lead available to it tomorrow, I don't imagine. So, but I mean, we've never tagged it as a designated leader.
No, but the fact that it won a Group 1 race, was
No,
it?
it's Group
Group
two.
2 race, Group 2 race leading, it's now a designated leader, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. Magic Hurricane shouldn't be too far away, and I don't know this horse Chance to Dance very well, but I imagine that it uses its low draw to posse up.
All right, well, let's talk about Chance to Dance straight away. The Williams machine is officially flying again. It's been cranked up after just having 12
been
months
on
off.
holiday.
Yeah, he just had a bit of a break. Yeah, but they're seriously back, and this horse has got some serious numbers. It's a +9, +10 horse on our language, for those who understand it, overseas when it gets to 2,000. It went 5.3 lengths above average first up, which was 4th best of the day, and it has got absolutely outstanding numbers and would be the standout on pure data. The worry is, from our point of view, is that the first up run has every indication it could be a potential flat one, especially with the trip up the highway. That's the worry.
A very interesting run.
Because they did go very hard in that. It went 9.2 lengths above early, and that's first up, and that's dangerous territory. Shows the horse is flying, but it also shows that it can be.
Looked a taxing run.
Yeah.
Even just watching it.
Yeah.
Visually is the fact
Having
that
to fight.
went at the front.
Yeah.
And I thought he was in the good part of the track. He was going good, and then the horse came outside of him, and then he had to really fight.
Yeah, so he's
And
been
it looked
flogged
like
the bejesus out of the line. Yeah, so yeah.
It looked
yeah.
a taxing run.
Yeah, so he's got 2 weeks to recover from that first up, his first run in Australia and a trip up the highway. It's dangerous flat, but on pure numbers, he's your winner.
They're very good at, I think, travelling.
That's the only thing is, I'm sure if any stable is going to give them the TLC required to get over a hard run, it's Lloyd Williams. He would have had the absolute.
That's right. You talk about performance enhancers, Dal, like as in drugs, but there's the other performance enhancers, which is like logistics.
Logistics and,
you know,
and unlimited bank to be able to buy every post-race recovery thing, which there's plenty of post-race recovery things that you can really drug them to their eyeballs with, which are legal. And I'm sure whatever the best of that is, at Mount Macedon,
Yes.
it would be the Dom Perignon and not just the current 2004 release.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So that's Chance to Dance, who is a very interesting runner.
Yep.
Complacent has now had 2 runs back from a long spell and jumped into the bridle the other day after having circumstances go against him first up. I suppose he's a horse that's maybe just ahead of the curve here in the sense that these runners are getting ready.
I'll tell you one thing about him, he was fit first up.
Yeah.
And he was fit second up.
Yeah,
He's right.
surprisingly so for a horse that had 2 years off.
Like that's why I brought it up when he was first up, and I thought he could be like that blowout at 50 to 1.
Yeah.
He was the one horse that it looked like he'd been in a few times, and from
Yeah.
what John O'Shea said, he'd had 2 or 3 preps in the
Yeah,
stable.
just had him.
So he wasn't really off that long
We
break.
need our ratings to win to run the Agnes Bank stats versus the Warwick Farm stats.
Where's he?
Agnes Banks.
Agnes Banks, okay. Yep.
So whereas Magic Hurricane, where is he?
Warwick Farm.
Warwick Farm.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So look, I am sure that Complacent will run well again.
Yep.
Magic Hurricane, this seems a reasonable place for him to go.
Yeah, he's got the 1800 to 2000.
Yeah.
I still do have the worry about Complacent John O'Shea plus 400 metres.
Yes.
I'm just finding it hard to take 350 after looking at 110.
Well,
that's exactly right. It's a bit sicky, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
And look, I mean, let's just. He won the race. He won the race well. He did piss off, and he did hold off some other horses, but he did
have everything
He did go
going.
-6 and -4.
He
in
had
front,
everything
You know,
going,
so
right.
it wasn't as if he's overcome bias, overcome race shape, and to win. There's a lot going his way.
and what can he go, Dale? I guess is the question.
Well, it's his best distance range, but I don't. Well, put it this way: I don't think he's in. He can't do what Magic Hurricane. And
I think the cutout of the track helps him actually.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
That's
I don't think he, on what Magic Hurricane can do overseas and Chance to Dance, he'd have to improve 5 lengths on his career best to get to him on what their overseas numbers.
Oh, that's it. So if he's asked to do that tomorrow,
Yeah, that's right. If he has to do, he might, but the race might not allow it to go that if it's only run at a slowish tempo. But there's a bit going on in front there, so it might be a trail of bludge. So that could be also a shock to his system if he's going up, if he's increasing his rating in front and then plus 400 metres. That might not be a pleasant place for him to be.
I think he's going good, Magic Hurricane. I got his win was
Also
good.
Complacent, yeah.
Oh yeah, but I'm just going off him. I think he's good. I like what he's done so far.
Yeah.
He looks to be improving
Yeah,
with every
absolutely.
run. He's beat Silver Ball, who I think is a very smart animal.
Mm.
I'm happy with him. I think he's going to be very hard to beat.
Yeah, I'm Magic Hurricane and I'm Magic Hurricane, I'd say.
What about who shot the barman? Would you entertain him?
Yes.
Yeah, I loved his run the other day. I thought his run was outstanding. Any extra rain would definitely help him. So I'm fingers crossed for that. Barrier 15, I think he should just be somewhere midfield with
You
cover.
reckon, yeah,
He's
yeah.
going to need luck, but
Yeah.
you've got Blake there, so you're usually confident that they can find it.
There's some chance.
I think he's just come back better. Like you say, how forward did he look?
No, it's not really about being forward, it's about being developed.
Oh, yeah, but he's muscular. He's
Yeah.
this gawky Kiwi stayer when he
typical
first came. He
runty
ran
heavy
third in a
shit,
Melbourne
yeah.
Cup doing it.
Yeah.
He's come back and
He's come back a real horse, yeah.
Just looks like a genuine Group 1 horse
Yeah,
now.
he
So
does, he's very
if he
good.
improves off anything that he's done,
So you're saying his appearance suggests that he has
I
improved.
thought his trials were outstanding as well.
He's furnished as a racehorse, that's for sure.
This is one that really looks to have got better with age.
Yep.
Like one of those genuine stayers. I think I'm Imposing could be a sneaky one.
Yeah.
He's always
The Summer Cup champion,
Yeah.
back-to-back Summer Cups this course and distance.
He's always been a funny one. I've always thought of him a bit more of a miler. So he does get 2,000. He's obviously not a genuine Group 1 horse, so I think this could have been a bit like a target race for Chris, for him. I wouldn't be surprised if they run a cheeky race at odds.
All right, okay. I'm interested in Lloyd Williams, and I'm interested in what do you do? I'm interested in Magic Hurricane as a betting point of view, boys.
I marked the O'Shea run as equal.
Yep.
I am certainly interested in who shot the barman, and to a lesser extent, Preferment.
All right. Okay, moving along to the last. Aaron, what do you want to do?
What do I want to do? I'm Magic Hurricane probably. It and who shot the barman equally on top. I think I am Imposing scary. I respect Complacent, but I can't find it at that price off that.
All right. Okay, the last race is Hollywood Bound $9, pretty much the same for Ballot Suit. 2-1 Farolitos, and Ruling Dynasty is $6.50 with Tab Limited.
I'm interested to see the speed map.
We've lost to Dora Beale.
Adora Beale's out.
Newcastle.
Okay, well the
Adora
speed map.
Bubbles.
The speed map. I think speed's probably using a incorrect term, isn't it? Farolitos again, does it? No.
Well, I mean, there's others that go forward, but they're not. They're all wheelchair types. So Marinostra having his 51st run this preparation.
Yep.
Stablemate of Faralitos Sabcat is another on pacer. Candelara from the deep, and Duccio freshened up with the blinkers on, but back from 2,000 metres. They're the accompaniers.
Candidates, yes, okay.
So Faralitos, you would like to see him drawn where Candelara was.
Yeah, a bit better.
Just
to come across and
just to control,
really
rather than be a victim.
Yeah. Okay, well, what are we saying about him? Obviously, a lot of favours, but he did come on in a few leaps and bounds the other day. Got the favours, but still did the job pretty well.
Looked perfect, I thought, the other day. His one horse had gone just went bang.
Yeah, that's right. It came to it, so he should hold that.
Agnes Banks.
Is it
Agnes Banks. It is.
It is.
Agnes Banks.
Where's that T-shirt Glenn had? Yeah, okay, Faralitos. It sort of looks same, and not really much different.
I thought he will. I know they don't go fast, but I do think they will get outside of him today.
Yeah.
And I think he's a better horse as a loose leader, and I'm willing to oppose him.
Okay, yeah.
That's legitimate.
Yeah.
Because he did lead on the 8 metre rail the other day,
Yeah.
whereas
he's
he's got an unfriendly rail tomorrow.
Yeah, that's against him, but yeah, he's got friendly
So
side.
you start with him.
Yeah. I it's a type of race with him in it. I'd struggle to back, and I'd probably struggle to back anything to beat him. That's probably my position.
My suggestions are Candelara and Ballet Sweet.
Ballot suit.
Yeah, the mares. Well, Huge goes on to Ballet Sweet.
Yeah.
So Rory off Huge on.
It's a fair change. Yeah.
She was, she met Faralitos back last campaign where she had all the favours and he didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Ballet Sweet either. I liked her run. She had a little stack of improvement, and I thought she'd get a race, better run the suit. Here with the bigger field. Candelara, I thought might want one more run.
Looked awful the other day.
That's kind of her though.
Oh no, she looks awful. Yeah, she does, but she looked awful.
Yeah.
Go Burn.
He's also, yeah. Actually, a couple of his horses trying shit lately. He's off. I'm with
off?
Glenn.
He's off?
Yeah.
So
I think a few of them are slowly coming good.
Yeah,
But he was off.
Yeah.
I would like to talk about stuff in this race, but I don't have anything to talk about.
No, that's right. Exactly. There's nothing to it.
It's a
Ruling Dynasty. That's got to be
ruling
one.
dynasty,
It's a
but
flavour.
yeah,
I know you're opposing it.
as Mark and I said on the show, it ran home along the inside. It was flashing light run. It was first up, but as we saw in the yard, it was pretty well tuned up first up too. So I think whilst it was an okay return, I think it's been overvalued. But in saying that, I don't know what value you need to be bringing to be winning this race.
I think he had a lot. He obviously had more improvement than Faralitos, though, in my opinion. Because I thought Faralitos looked very close to perfect, and he looked forward first up with lots more improvement.
Yeah, but there was a margin of about 150 lengths, though.
Yeah, I was the margin of 2 lengths. But I just think with this race shape, there are a couple of more leaders here. No, they're not going to go fast, but they're going to pester each other, and Faralitos isn't going to get that soft. La-di-da in front.
Yeah.
All right, let's sprint.
I don't think Faralitos needs too many questions asked of him.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't think it's the greatest conveyance of all time. Anyway, I'm not probably playing in the last mark.
Well, I marked them 6-5-4. That's
It's probably the easiest way. And Aaron?
Yeah, I'm ruling Dynasty on top, and I thought the 2 horses at a bit of odds were Ballet Sweet, and if the rain was to continue, Miss Bond.
Okay, perfect. All right, that's the preview. Thank you very much, boys. Good luck. There is probably plenty of winners there, and hopefully we can find them.
Beautiful.
Thank you.